All right, let's get our potato bed in place. Easy. About an hour taking the plastic off the panels and about 5 minutes to assemble the garden bed. So it is a relatively easy garden bed to put together. We're gonna put it here because this section of the garden gets decent, maybe not amazing sun, but it's gonna be one of the best spots during winter, and that's where we're at right now. And in summer, it'll be a little bit more protected under the tree as well. However, I'm not thinking of this as a long-term garden bed. I'm, if anything, thinking I might just put new, fresh soil in each year when I want to grow potatoes, and then I might just spread the soil in the off-season out into the grass to improve the grass. We're lining the base of the bed with cardboard and our soil will go on top. And at the bottom here, you can see I've folded up the one side of that cardboard on the downhill side, and that's just to capture a little bit more moisture. I'm not digging it into the hill. There's going to be all tree roots through here. I am assuming, given enough time, the tree roots will come through as that cardboard decomposes, but that's not too much of a drama because the soil that we're growing our potatoes on the top, that is going to be mounded, and we're growing the potatoes on top of the mounds, not in them, because that seems to be the advice from, I think it's Geoff Lawton. And then we're going to put some compost in between those mounds. So we'll probably end up with 2 mounds, and we're going to split our potatoes on either side, so the 2 different varieties. And we're just going to see how we go, because I have not had much luck in the subtropics growing potatoes, and that's why I've gone with the cheap bed. We're just going to use the soil we've got, the compost we've got, just see how we can go. Let's fill the bed with soil. All I've got is an old soil delivery soil that has tree roots growing through it, but it's going to go on the bottom. We're going to chuck in some organic fertilizer, which should do the job. We don't want something that's like all nitrogen apparently. And so yeah, this should be okay. And we'll get some soil in first. We'll put some of this on, then we'll add some more soil. Might have to go find some more somewhere else. And yeah, then we'll grab our potatoes and get started. If you're opening your bag of organic pelletized fertilizer, I wouldn't recommend doing it this way. However, we've got that should work. And we've got some better ex-garden bed soil that's going to go on top. Then we just kind of mound it and put some compost in between the mounds, which I think is just going to be in the middle to keep it contained. And then essentially our potatoes just go in on top, which that should be it. Maybe slightly covered. So I might go see if I can find just some more excess soil, because I'd just like to have a little bit more soil in there. And from what I understand, potatoes aren't super fussy on soil. Obviously you've got to be careful with them rotting out, so some drainage is required. But I think I've just got some buckets of soil that have been sitting around for ages that I can probably just chuck in on top, just so that I can get my my mound set up on either side of this to put those potatoes in, because there's only like probably this much soil. So I rustled up an extra bucket, big-ish bucket of soil, and what I reckon we will do is we will mound the bottom a little bit more than the top, because obviously the water's going to drain down. And then we've got our seed potatoes here, which are quite large sized seed potatoes. So I've got certified seed potato White Star, and I'm not going to follow their instructions because obviously, as I said, I'm pretty sure it's Lawton's instructions. And one of the tips that he had for the subtropics was, one of the things you'll hear quite often is, well, you've got this bag of potatoes, right? And each one that you plant will turn into however many new potatoes, hopefully, if things go well. And so what people do is they chop the potato into multiple pieces, and then they have like an eye on each, and they each turn into a potato plant. So you get more yield. Now, the tip for the subtropics is apparently you don't want to chop them open, and this is going to make a lot of sense because we have humidity issues and maybe more moisture, which here it's the dry season, but I mean, that's kind of meaningless. You don't chop your potatoes up. You just put them down, and I'm gonna have to go get some mosquito repellent because they are swarming me. So the White Star and the Sebago, and I think Sebago was the one that was mentioned as being good in the subtropics. I tried to go for more warm climate potato varieties. They're not the red-skinned varieties, which are my personal favorite, so some compromises were made, but that's just how things go. And so we're putting that mound on the top there. And what I've got is buckets of compost from when we had a big compost delivery. And again, one of the tips was that you don't want your potatoes directly in the compost, apparently, because it can be too rich for them. So we're going to follow that advice. These are our Sebagos. They reckon 30 centimetres apart. But we are a bit limited on space, this being a raised bed. And some of these are quite small. So we've got a couple left over, which maybe we just chuck them in down the end. I actually saw a video in which someone said, don't overplant. But again, we got to assume this is going to work. Okay, so that's the Sebago in. Our White Star. And look, this is the perfect example of the customer never being happy, because the 7 in the bag would have been perfect for me. However, obviously, if I had a slightly larger bed, then I'd be complaining about not getting enough potatoes in my expensive seed potato bag. Oh, that one did work out a bit better because we had more big ones and less small ones. We've just chucked the extras in the end. I should probably have been paying more attention when I watched that original video, which was explaining how to do this, because obviously I was not paying quite so much attention when they talked about the very final steps. I think what we will do is we will put a light mulch. We put the compost down the middle, we'll give it a quick water, and obviously we don't want to waterlog it because, again, we don't want our potatoes to rot. The weather forecast is fairly dry with just like 1 or 2 mils of rain here and there, and so that's all right. So it's not like we should have kind of a flooding rain problem. I've just said that, and watch as we have flooding. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see if this works, because being in the subtropics, potatoes have proven surprisingly challenging, and I was starting to think maybe I just switch to sweet potatoes. And I mean, I love potatoes, so if I can grow them myself, that would be awesome. And again, it's one of those things where we go through a decent amount of potatoes. Potatoes are about $5 or $6 a kilo, so if you're going through a couple of kilos a week, it adds up. And we've cut back our potato consumption because there's a lot of carbs. I kind of prefer to have a better balance between the meat, green veg, or carrots, and the potato, where when I'm cooking potatoes, I always overdo it. Final step, can we make a very almost empty bag of sugarcane mulch go the distance? And certainly one thing I will say is be careful with your mulch. Mulch can, if it's not working really well or if you kind of don't do a great job with it, it can actually hold out moisture, so it'll prevent, like it'll hold the moisture in the soil, but then if the soil is dry, it can actually prevent it from kind of evenly getting in. And also, as I discovered when I tried growing my potatoes with some mulch in between the soil layers, it was causing it to rot. So don't do that. But this is on top, so it should be okay. And it's starting to rain. I need to get that camera inside. So, quick update on our potato growing bed. I've got to say, this is looking really, really good. Way more successful than any of the potato beds I've tried in the past. So we have done quite a few different attempts. This is obviously very, very well sprouted. The plants are looking really healthy. I think I probably need to go and buy some more mulch so that I can run the mulch level up a little bit higher just to get a bit more thicker of level of mulch in there. It has been fairly dry. Like we had a little bit of rain when this first went in and then it's been fairly dry. So I have controlled the water level. So we haven't really had any rotting issues with the potatoes. There's some argument to be made that maybe that's helped more than just the overall design. But as it stands, running kind of the 2 rows of soil with the compost between them is looking really, really good, really successful. And yeah, this is the best looking potato growth that I've seen so far, and I'm really, really happy. We've got a whole heap of grow bags here that some of them have potatoes in them, so we'll have a bit of a comparison point. We'll see how that goes. I'm thinking I might even move them up behind the bed a little bit just to help retain a bit of moisture, because with it being so dry, the old grow bags can actually dry out a little bit too much. But I'm gonna have a video on revisiting grow bags because I haven't had success in the past, but I've learned a bit and I'm hoping I can make it work this time.